In this instructional video, students will recognize two-dimensional geometric shapes, identify the degrees for those shapes, and recognize different angles that are measured through those geometric shapes. When we are looking at shapes, we want to be able to identify the type of angles in the shapes. An angle is where two lines intersect or cross at a point, which is called the vertex. Angles can be classified in four different ways. Right angles are when two lines meet to form a perfect square. This square is measured as 90 degrees. We know that an angle is a right angle because there is a square in the corner of the angle. In order to classify angles, we want to be able to identify if an angle is greater than or less than a right angle. An acute angle is an angle that is less than 90 degrees. Any angle that measures between 1 and 89 degrees is considered an acute angle. An obtuse angle is an angle that's greater than 90 degrees. Any angle that measures between 91 and 179 degrees is considered an obtuse angle. And a straight angle, also known as a line, measures 180 degrees. The arrows are pointing to the vertex of the angles or where the angles come together at a point. Two-dimensional shapes have angles that are measured in degrees. Circles will be the reference point when we talk about angles. All circles measure 360 degrees regardless of how big or small the circle is. That means that any angles that are within the circle would add up to 360 degrees. When we are referring to angles that are just two lines joined together at a vertex, imagine that angle being inside of a circle. This will help you to see the different angles. For example, we can see in this circle there is an acute angle, or an angle less than 90 degrees, here, and an obtuse angle, an angle that is greater than 90 degrees, right here. These two angles added together would equal 360 degrees. Picturing angles inside a circle can help us to better understand the different types of angles. Other shapes have different degree measures. All quadrilaterals measure up to 360 degrees. The reason has to do with a square. A square has four right angles. Right angles measure 90 degrees. 90 times 4 equals 360, or 360 degrees. Regardless of the length of the size, when all of the angles of a quadrilateral are added together, it will always equal 360 degrees. Triangles have a measure of 180 degrees. The reason has to do with a right triangle. If you look at a right triangle, it is exactly half of a square. Half of 360 is 180. So when all angles of a triangle are added together, they will always equal 180 degrees. We can also reference angles in terms of fractions. Let's say that we have a 90-degree angle in the circle. Thinking about how fractions represent parts of a whole, the whole would be 360 degrees, and the part is 90 degrees. So the fraction of that angle would be 90 out of 360. This strategy can be applied to any angle within a circle.